Cheers.
I only think that was the only door that they could.
Everyone ready? Okay, let's start. So, good evening, everyone. I'd like to call to order the meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Peapack And Gladstone. It is March 4th, 2025 at 7:02 p.m. Nancy, would you kindly read the sunshine notice? Recorder's on, right?
Yes. Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of the 2025 meeting dates was published in the Courier News and the Birmingham News on December 26, 2024, and posted at the municipal complex. Action may be taken.
I would ask that everyone put their cell phones on Do Not Disturb and join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thanks very much. Okay, roll call please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy? Here. Councilman Portello?
Here.
Councilman Silva?
Here.
Councilwoman Sueda? Aye. Councilwoman Weibel? Here. Mayor Corleone?
Here. Okay, we're going to start with public comments and non-agenda items. Does anybody in our audience wish to address the council on a non-agenda item? Microphone, name, and address, please.
Hi, Lynn Perry, 59 Main Street, Peapack. I apologize, I didn't see this on the agenda, so I apologize if it is. I was wondering if you had an update on the library.
It's not on the agenda, but we'd be happy to update you on the library. Library's in the last stages of construction. Okay, we anticipate construction will be done on or about April 15th. It's going to need a fit-out period of about 60 days, mostly because all the furniture will not have arrived in time. We realistically expect it to be reopened on or about June 1st. Okay? They are actively working every day in there. The air conditioning ductwork is now being run. With the weather having warmed up, it allows the cuts in the roof to be done so they can put the air conditioner in. And the reason we need that weather to be warm is the roof needs to be re-roofed. They couldn't do that with the freezing temperatures. So the library is well on its way to reopening.
Wonderful. Thank you.
And you're welcome. We're very excited by that.
Indeed.
Anyone else? Yeah, I'll close the non-agenda item on public comments. We move on to old business. Councilwoman Murphy, you got any update on tennis?
I would say, not really any significant updates on tennis. The only thing I'd say is that Councilman Portello and I have been talking about the tennis courts quite a bit. I think we've both been talking to various residents, trying to come up with the best idea for location. So at this point, where Eric and I are leaning is to put the tennis courts by the municipal building at the site of the second ball field, and then possibly keep the new pickleball courts at the site of the previous tennis courts, so that it doesn't get too crowded over here. Still leave some green space besides the kind of the bigger ball field, if you will, for kids to play. Have some green space besides the two tennis courts and obviously the basketball court. And it gives us the ability, if needed, to piecemeal the projects out of it, to do the tennis courts, and then possibly see how construction at the Smith property unfolds, if that affects the positioning of the courts, anything like that, just on a kind of a land disturbance platform. So that's where we're leaning, so I'd love to hear your opinions, and we both would. And then and then once we kind of have semi-agreement on this, or not, then we're going to try to set up a meeting. I don't know if you already have set up a meeting with Classic Turf to have a discussion with them, find out if they're at a co-op, so we know exactly kind of what we're dealing with, kind of what kind of discussions we can have financially, and then just talk to them
So quick, just to echo on that, I did talk to Classic Turf. I should hear from Ryan tomorrow. He's traveling with other sales things right now. They are part of the co-op, so
Okay.
we're all set
Wait,
there.
are they part of the co-op that we belong to?
I will triple check, but I'm 99% sure
Okay.
that yes.
Okay, because we don't belong to every co-op that there is. I mean, and we can join any co-op that we need to.
Yeah,
I just need to make sure that it's a co-op that we are associated with.
so I'll confirm that when we meet with Ryan in person. That's one of the questions he's got to answer for us. But the biggest thing for us is to figure out as a council the consensus of where they're going to go, because no matter where they go, it's going to have a discrepancy in price, right? And so anyone that may come out and look at this is going to say, well, don't tell me it might go here or here or here. We're not going to do 3, 4 bids. We're going to do a bid. Where do you want it? And so for the reasons that Jamie mentioned, we're going to advocate that it should go to municipal. If anyone objects to that, we'll have to have the discussion. If everyone is in agreement with that, then we can keep moving forward. Our goal is, and I told this to Classic Turf, or should we go with them? We want to get this taken care of quickly because we want them open for the season. So we've got capital aside for last year and this year, and we're ready to get rolling so that we can get stakes in the ground and get this thing up and rolling for the residents.
You should know where they're going before you start the work.
Right.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
And again, to Jamie's point, don't want to take down the existing tennis courts because that could be the right platform for the pickle in the future. Should we keep them separate because it would be too congested in one location? But there's benefits to keeping tennis here, seeing how the Smith property unfolds, and then whether or not that should be shifted, relocated, or what have you, right? So I think it's the right economical approach.
So are you suggesting do tennis immediately, hold on pickleball
Yes.
until after Smith is, after Ethel is done?
We just worry that, if we build the brand new pickle courts or, over that site and then something goes awry with Smith and the water drainage becomes worse than it is now or anything of that nature, then, like Eric mentioned, maybe then we'd say, actually, let's see if we can squeeze them in over here or shift them in Tom
I
line.
like your plan. I like
So-
your plan very much. Hold on the pickle and see how that goes over there. See how that goes over there.
Right, and the reality is rec does have temporary pickle, nets. So if they ever want to set it up for the kids at rec or something, I mean, there's that ability in the short term. So,
Like your idea very much.
anyone else?
Yeah, I like the idea on many levels of classic turf. At the same time, having competed, when I was much younger in tennis, I do think that the speed of the ball is of concern and what that sort of means. And one of the residents had brought that up. I know that we've sort of, gone back and forth a little bit with that. I would like to see if Classic Turf had any additional information on that. Timing is everything when you're playing, tennis. And I would just like to see that it's not really affecting anyone's ability to play. I know when I went from, regular courts to clay courts, it was like a completely different thing. And it was really hard to adjust. So I'd just like to get a little bit more information on that if you can from them.
Sure, yeah, we can certainly ask that.
Thank you.
Good work.
I like the plan too.
Yeah.
Great.
So why don't you go in that direction?
Okay.
Just one quick question. Is it, you guys think about taking out that one baseball fields?
The one ball.
Yeah.
Okay, so not initially like we'd spoken about.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Which one?
The smaller, less used,
The one that's closer to the.
Closer.
Yeah, in front of
Okay.
the playground there.
Yeah.
I'd rather be the guy I met from Classic Turf.
Ryan Conroy.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I should hear from him tomorrow.
The only thing, and I actually just forwarded you updated contract, I meant to do it early, I'm sorry. We did get an updated number, which I just forwarded to you 2 seconds ago, with including this property. So it's obviously gonna be a little bit more expensive. It did end up, Geese Police initially was the more expensive compared to Geese Chasers. Now Geese Chasers is more expensive, but if you all remember, Geese Police would charge every time they added a nest. So, chances are, first of all, those are kind of unpredictable costs. With Geese Chasers, we know what we're gonna spend, which is $2,000 a month. It's a monthly contract, so if we feel like the work is not being done to, the standards in which we want, we can always stop the contract. So it went from about just under 1,700, I think 1,675 a month to 2,000 to include all this property as well, all around the municipal building and the adjacent properties down by the park.
Which we did adjust the budget for 25,000
Yeah.
for maintenance, and this falls $1,000 short of that. As
Right.
before, to Jamie's point, we've already used Geese Police in the past. It wasn't really successful. We'll try Geese Chasers. If it doesn't work, we can get out and we can try something else, right? But this seems, and it's all inclusive, right? Because the addling is a la
Extra
carte
with
versus
police, right.
included, and so it's included in Geese Chasers. Let's move forward and try to work with them. I don't know. Timing wise, I want to get them stood up pretty quickly and get started on the PO.
What we can do is, I can have a resolution done for the next meeting on March, but we will sign something and give them a purchase order just for this month for March. And so that they can start now.
Okay.
And then we'll do a resolution at the next meeting, the March 25th meeting.
Great.
Perfect.
Thank you.
I would like to say one thing about the Geese, just simply in the interest of transparency, because we are a very transparent government. What I'm about to say, we have actually no plans to do, but we should be all aware of it. We've unfortunately received news from some other towns in New Jersey that geese have been found dead because they contracted avian flu. That is of great concern to us. I've consulted with Dr. Murphy. Dr. Murphy advises me that, and correct me if I'm saying this wrong, that no human has ever caught avian flu from geese. However, domestic pets have, certain domestic pets in particular. And
There's no known cases. So humans have got it from chickens. So avian flu, by definition, is in birds. That's where it likes to live. That's where the proper like receptors and everything for this type of flu. But some animals carry the necessary kind of receptors, if you will, to get it, but it can't move from that person or that animal to another unless it goes through another type of animal. So it's a little bit confusing. You can get it from a bird. You could get it from a goose. There's no documented cases in this area of a person getting it from a goose, but is it possible? Absolutely. Have people gotten it from chickens? Yes. So the state is working diligently. We've had flu outbreaks in the past where many birds have had to be called. It's a sad situation. But this is a fairly aggressive flu. So you just don't know what's going to happen. I don't know how the state's going to handle it.
We know of at least one, if not two towns in New Jersey that have had to euthanize the geese, and one town in New York. We have not found any dead geese here, so we're not in that boat, at least not yet, but we're keeping an eye on it. Needless to say, that safety of everyone, including their pets, is of concern to us.
And just to let you know, a domesticated cat was diagnosed with flu in Hunterdon County, so it is very close by.
Yeah. So we are just keeping an eye on that. All right?
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other old business from anyone or new business? Okay, moving on. How about miscellaneous? We have nothing listed. None. We move on to the minutes, February 11th, and a motion and second to approve those minutes.
So, second.
Discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Abstain.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilwoman Slater?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble?
Aye.
Okay, those minutes passed. Okay. This evening, we have a whopping 6 ordinances to introduce. And so we have a lot of reading. I'm going to do something a little bit different. We're all very familiar with these ordinances. We've all either worked, one of us or more of us have worked on these. We all know about them. We've all been preparing for them, but you all haven't. So I'm going to do something very little different. I'm just going to give you a 10-second executive summary of each one so you know what we're talking about. Maybe it'll work, maybe it won't work. It's just an idea I had, and then I'm going to read it. So the first thing we're going to do is Ordinance 1148-2025, an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. This is something we do every year. It allows us to pass our budget every year and allows us certain latitudes to pass in our budget. It's a standard procedure, allows conform with state laws. May I have a motion and second to introduce ordinance? Motion and second to introduce ordinance 1148-2025.
So moved.
Second.
Nancy, a roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilwoman Slater?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyden.
Okay, ordinance 1148-2025 is introduced and shall be published in summary in the Burnsville News. The public hearing for this ordinance shall be held on March 25th at 7 o'clock p.m. shortly thereafter. Second ordinance, 1149-2025, an ordinance amending chapter 17 titled Sewers of the Revised General Ordinances, subsection 1.27 titled Sewer Charge. Recap on this, basically we have to raise sewer rates. And what this ordinance is doing is for anybody who participates in the sewers, you're going to see an increase this year. Our costs have gone up substantially. We're doing a large amount of capital work, and unfortunately, we reduced sewer rates twice in the last 5 years. Now we have to bring them back up again, and that's what this is about. Motion and second to introduce 1149-2025.
So moved. Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyden.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 1149-2025 is introduced and shall be published in summary in the Burnsville News, and the public hearing for this ordinance shall be held on March 25th, 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. or shortly thereafter. Ordinance 1150-2025, an ordinance to amend chapter 23 Land Development Ordinance of the Revised General Ordinances of the Borough of Peapack and Gladstone, amending Article 11A Municipal MU-AH, I'm using abbreviation, Mixed Use Affordable Housing Zone. What this is doing is very simply, we had a zone that we created about 5 years ago for Lackawanna Avenue. We had listed very specifically the uses for that zone. One of the uses was a brew pub. They want to open a brewery, just a brewery there, no food. Okay, it's not a use, so we are amending it to allow a brewery instead of a full brew pub. Okay, and we are advised by our land use attorney this is what we need to do. You can't consider a brewery a brew pub a brewery, and that's what we're doing. We're simply modifying it to add one additional use. A motion and second to introduce ordinance 1150-2025.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yes.
Councilman Portello.
Aye.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyden.
Aye.
Ordinance 1150-2025 is introduced and should be published in summary in the Burnsville News. And the public hearing for this ordinance shall be held on March 25th, 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. or shortly thereafter. On to 1151-2025, an ordinance opting into the Garden State Seed Paste Program to facilitate the financing of seed paste projects. This ordinance here is actually a revision to one that we did a few years back. We implemented an ordinance participating in a state program that allows developers to apply to participate in a program that if you build an energy efficient development in town, you can apply to have the state assist you in financing, in obtaining financing. We passed this already. This is a revision to that.
I just had a question. Do you want me to
Let me
ask
do a
now?
motion and second. Let me do the question. How's that? Motion and second to introduce 1151-2025.
So moved.
Second.
Okay.
So my question, it's been a couple of years since we passed it. Can you remind me, who's the authorized officer for our town? There's when I read it, it's kind of, there's an authorized officer, there's also the municipal liaison, and is the liaison, is that Sarah Jane, or who's
I
there?
would say the liaison is going to be Nancy, and the officer is going to be Olga.
Okay.
The process is.
All right. And I was surprised that the attachment, the guidelines weren't attached. Where do you see the guidelines? I just kind of wanted to know what qualifies as CPA,
Good question. I would say that's on the website.
Yeah. So I was hoping they'd be attached.
This is all based on a request from Natter 98.
Right, I remember.
Yep, and who requested that they want to participate in the CPACE program for that whole stuff.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
No, I just don't remember the details.
Yeah.
Okay. Just wondering.
I may have the old regulation, the old guidelines, but not the new ones.
Okay.
Roll call vote, please, Nancy.
Councilwoman Murphy.
Yep.
Councilman Portello.
No worries.
Aye.
Councilman Silva.
Yes.
Councilwoman Sueda.
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyden.
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 1152-2025, an ordinance to set the compensation of the mayor, borough council members, department heads, and municipal employees. Very simply, every year we must pass an ordinance that states a range or a number that we have to pay, that we are allowed to pay everybody and not exceed. That's very simply what this ordinance is. It's by statute, state statute. Motion and second to introduce 1152-2025.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble?
Aye.
Ordinance 1152-2025 is introduced and shall be published in summary in the Burnersville News, and that the public hearing for said ordinance shall be held on March 25th, 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. or shortly thereafter. I'm going to go back to the prior ordinance because I don't think I read the notice. And I'm just going to read ordinance 1151-2025 is introduced and shall be published in summary in the Burnersville News, and that the public hearing for said ordinance shall be held on March 25th, 2025 or 7 o'clock p.m. at 7 o'clock p.m. or shortly thereafter. Okay. Last one, ordinance 1153-2025, an ordinance for the protection of trees in the borough of Peapack and Gladstone. Very simply, this is an ordinance that we are passing in order to be in compliance with state law that is requiring every town to have what's called a tree ordinance. We are allowed to have some latitude in it, but we must follow state guidelines. It does impute certain regulations requiring takedown of trees, mostly in large numbers. You will still be able to take down a tree in your yard if it's dying and all that. So it doesn't place major restrictions, but if you're doing a clear cutting of trees, that's going to require a permit and replacement of those trees. And again, this is in compliance with state law, something that every town has to do. Motion and second to introduce 1153-2025.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Aye.
Councilwoman Wyble?
Aye.
Okay, ordinance 1153-2025 is introduced and should be published in summary in the Burnersville News, and public hearing for this ordinance shall be held on March 25th, 2025 at 7 o'clock p.m. or shortly thereafter. Just by a nod of head, were the little executive summaries helpful to you all or not?
Yes.
If they were, okay. I just want to know if I'm talking too much or if they're helpful. Okay. Council members, we have resolutions 51-25 and 58-25. Would you all please take a look at those and see if you'd like to pull any out, and we'll do the remainder by consent agenda.
Just pull 56, you said minus 56 in there because that's.
Oh,
the
yeah,
bill,
I'm
so
sorry.
that's- that's
56 is
separate.
bill, so I'm sorry, I put that back. It's going to be 51 through 55 and 57 through 58. I forgot about that. Good?
Yeah.
Sergio?
Good.
Good to bundle. Good.
Bundle? Okay. May I have a motion and second for a consent vote for resolutions 51-25 through 55-25 and 57-25 through 58-25?
So moved. Second.
Nancy, a roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Portello?
Aye.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sueda? Councilwoman Wyble?
Aye.
Okay, just a note to council members, Stephanie is starting with us on Monday morning, this coming Monday. She is going to be our deputy clerk, deputy registrar, and affordable housing liaison. And if you are able to, please try to stop down next week and introduce yourself. Wish her well with her current appointments.
That's a little accent you put on the liaison there.
What was that?
Oh, that's a little accent you put on the liaison.
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 Liaison? Okay, let's move on to bills list, 56-25. Does any council member have any item they wish to be filled for discussion? It's a pretty clean list.
Yeah.
This month, yeah.
Small bit.
A small list.
Small one.
No school, check. Okay, Nancy, would you probably read the total amount of bills to be paid?
$330,284.98.
May I have a motion and a second to approve the resolution approving the payment of bills?
So moved.
Roll call vote, please.
Councilwoman Murphy?
Yes.
Councilman Cortello?
Aye.
Councilman Silva?
Yes.
Councilwoman Sueda?
Yes.
Councilwoman Weigel?
Aye.
Okay, I have, that passes. I have no mayor's executive summary this evening. Let's move on to public comments on agenda items. Would anybody wish to discuss or have a question or comment on anything we discussed on the agenda this evening?
Only reason, I don't even.
Come on up. And I would ask name and address for the record.
John Kelly, 172 Main. I appreciate the, I just came to check out the pickleball situation, frankly speaking, and I'm happy to hear that it's moving over there, because I was going to invite everybody in the council to join me in my house in Lavalette, where it is next to a pickleball court, and you will see why it needs to be over there. But thank you very much for making that decision. Appreciate it.
Just to be clear, the decision is to likely place it over there, but we're gonna hold on building
Right.
it and evaluate it down the road.
Right.
Because we wanna see how the affordable, the development that's gonna be built close to it is gonna work out.
Right.
Okay?
And as long as, since I learned something about a tree, I have a big tree that has to come down, unfortunately, and on my house right on Main Street, one of those big 150-year-old maples is dead. So, you know, I'm in the process of getting somebody. So you need to get a permit for that now? Is that?
Yeah, so the ordinance is, it's not very long, it's pretty clear, so some trees are exempt, so if it's dead and you have an arborist report saying it's dead, you're exempt from certain things, like replacing it per se. I honestly forget, I might have to do the $10 permit.
Oh,
I think
that's
right,
fine.
John?
Yeah, there was no restrictions before, and now there is. I just want to file compliance because it's on Main Street. It's going to require police involvement to stop the traffic there, because it's one of those real big ones. And it is dead. If it's not dead now, it will be dead soon. I've tried to save it by fertilizing it and all kinds of stuff.
Too bad. Just know, a little off topic, that, the Environmental Commission has a shade tree commission within it, and they'll get you replacement trees at no cost.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, we try to keep the shade along the main streets in town.
Oh, Mr. Malillo came over and said that he wants to change the type of tree. He doesn't want me to plant another big maple there. He wants, as I am going to put another tree there.
Sure.
There's no question.
As a general rule, if you take down a tree, especially when I know which one you're talking about, if you take down a tree like that, we'd love to see it replaced.
I'm going to definitely going to replace it.
Yeah, so reach out if you want to. I mean, if you want to do it on your own, that's fine, but you're
No,
welcome to reach out to the Environmental Commission.
I'll do that. I prefer to stay in compliance.
Yeah. Great.
But thank you so much.
Of course.
Thanks for everything you guys do.
You're welcome very much. Thank you for saying so. Anyone else? Okay, seeing no one else, I'll close the public comments. Any last comments from any council member? John, do you have anything? Okay. Our next meeting is Tuesday, March 25th at 7 o'clock p.m. May I have a motion and second to adjourn our meeting?
Moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight and joining us, and the council members, thank you for your dedication to the job.
Thank you.